Hi, my name is Tim Dickens. I'm a UK and South African qualified lawyer, foreign lawyer in the international law firm DR&RG LLC. I'm also chairman of the South African Chamber of Commerce in Korea, and I've now been in Korea for 11 years.
So you're from England and you've been a partner in England as well, right?
Well, actually, England and South Africa.
Oh.
So maybe to give you some background to myself. So my parents are British and they were in South Africa for a holiday. They fell in love with South Africa, so they decided to live there and work there. So I was born in South Africa, grew up, studied. I worked as a lawyer in South Africa, as a partner in South Africa.
Okay.
And then I decided I want to do more international-based work, which is why I decided to move to the UK to qualify in the UK.
So how do you, was lawyer like your dream job ever since you were little? How did you kind of, got into this lawyer job?
So when I was towards the end of my high school, I had no idea what I think my mom wanted me to study medicine.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't interested. And then I watched a movie called Jerry Maguire. I don't know if you're aware of that movie. So it's got Tom Cruise. So basically the concept is his character is a sports agent. So when I watched that, I love sport. Doing sport, watching sport, is a very sport-mad person. It looked like a fantastically exciting job. So I sat down and thought, well, how do I become a sports agent? So I thought, well, two ways. One, I need to do marketing. So that's why I studied a Bachelor of Commerce for Marketing Management. And then the second part, I needed law for, contractual work for the sports star. So that's why I started studying law. And then after studying law, obviously the next step was to become a lawyer. It's pointless to study without becoming a lawyer. And from there, I just became more and more involved in the
So you decided to go to the lawyer side other than the marketing side, right?
Correct.
What made you decide? Because you did bachelor's in marketing, but you did, and then you went to law school?
Then law school, LLB for law, right.
What made you go into law school?
I think I just felt an affinity towards law. It made a lot of sense to me. It's a very practical-based job. I wouldn't say a lawyer is a difficult job. It's a lot of work to memorize in terms of studying, but it's not difficult. And I think law touches every aspect of our life. So if it's how you make phones, your employment relations, the IP rights for TV, for example, everything covers law. So it makes sense to have an understanding of that. You can be more, I guess, secure in terms of protecting yourself, protecting your family, your friends, etc. So it made sense to me to go with that.
I'm sure it's drama or movie, but like lawyer, it's like, isn't it like new events every day or every time, like your projects?
I think that's a great point. That's a great point to make. So depending on what practice group you're working in. So, even amongst lawyers, if you're working at tax or maybe employment, not maybe the fun, but if you're doing something like disputes where it's you're meeting new clients, it's new cases every day, new industries. If you're working on projects, it's new projects. So you're right. In terms of that, there's a definite new sort of field to each day and new issues that arise. So I really find that exciting because it's a blue ocean out there in terms of what businesses have, the technologies, the issues that they are facing. So, we have to be very proactive, as I mentioned earlier, to keep ahead of the game. But it's not always easy because the law always seems to be lagging behind in terms of amendments of laws and so on. But a lawyer can be fun, can also be very dull sometimes.
How is your job? Are you satisfied right now? How satisfied
I'd say 99% satisfied.
Ooh, that's very high. Yeah.
But there's always parts of job where you're sitting and you're drafting a contract of 600 pages.
I mean, oh my gosh.
It gets a bit hard. So I think the dream is generally to focus on the Africa practice. As I mentioned, I have a close connection to South Africa, but within that framework, obviously Africa is very important. And with the South African Chamber of Commerce trying to increase trade and investment flows between the two countries, Africa became a big focus. And obviously project work is very important there. So when we're talking project, we're talking the mega sort of infrastructure of the energy, the water, the rail, airports, because there's a massive need for that in South Africa and Africa for that matter. And then Korean companies are fantastic in that field. Their technology and I guess their portfolio of work is fantastic in the international field. But they have never been very active in the African market. So by way of example, South Korea's trade in an annual percentage with the whole of Africa, not just South Africa, is only 1%.
Really? It's that low?
It's that low.
Wow, I didn't know.
And if you look at the market size, so Africa has about 1.4 billion, currently just a bit more than China, and ever increasing. So by 2050, I think we'll be 2.5 billion.
Wow.
It's a massive market for you not to be involved in.
Exactly.
So Korea are a little bit behind the 8 ball. And I think that area from now for the next 20, 30, 40 years is going to be probably the only area in the world where there's going to be massive expansion in terms of things coming out of there. So projects, you know, tech infrastructure, the medical, it's just going to be a boiling pot of so many opportunities. And I want Korea, because I have great affinity to Korea and a great affinity to South Africa and Africa, to be at the forefront of that, to share the resources, share experience, knowledge, the technical expertise. I think that would be fantastic for me. So I'd really like to see those trade levels moving up, as I mentioned, to 10, 15, 20% if possible.
Oh, wow.
And also getting, you know, likewise, even in Korea, there's not a huge amount of African-related business. So I'd want African companies and African businesses to be based in Korea and also use this as a hub for, you know, for the Asia region as well. So I think that would be a massive focus for mine, and it's sort of a dream, hopefully, that, you know, we can talk in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, I can say, oh, Bella, you know, things have developed.
Guess what? It came up to 20% or 15% or whatever, right? Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
네, 이렇게 지금까지 변호사님과 함께 얘기를 나눠봤습니다. 앞으로도 여러분들께 다양한 직업들 많이 소개해드릴 테니까요. 잡플러스TV 많은 관심 부탁드립니다. 그럼 저희는 다음 시간에 또 뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다. 바이.